Donald Trump Jr. may have been the star of last night's Republican convention, but behind the scenes, he's a little less confident and a little less cocky than what he portrayed on our TVs last night. According to a new profile of Donald Trump Jr. in the New York Times by reporter Jason Zingarl, Donnie Jr. believes that if his daddy loses the 2020 presidential election, then his dad and probably himself and maybe even his brother and sister are likely going to jail. That is the big takeaway from this profile on Donald Trump Jr. Sure, the profile talks about the fact that Jr.'s a rising star with the MAGA world, and it always refers to it as the MAGA world, not the Republican Party, just the MAGA section of it, the hardcore, the ones who like to chant build the wall because they don't want any people that don't look like them in the country. You know what they are. The people who might actually have some white hoods hanging in their closet. Those are the ones that really seem to just love and gravitate towards the Trump family. And Junior is the heir apparent, according to this article. But it all hinges on whether or not Daddy can win in 2020, because if he doesn't, as Junior believes, they could all be heading to prison. And here's why he thinks that. If you'll recall, Robert Mueller, special prosecutor, he said that the reason he didn't prosecute Donald Trump for all the obstruction of justice and possibly some other things was because, the DOJ kind of has this long-standing, he called it a rule. It's not actually a rule. I don't know why people say that. It's not a rule. It's a memo. It's a suggestion during the Richard Nixon era. So whatever. I mean, that's frustrating enough. But either way, he said, hey, yeah, they've got this rule that you can't prosecute a sitting president. So that's, my hands were tied. Your hands are not tied, House of Representatives, just so you know. But they decided not to do it. They waited until he asked Ukraine for dirt on Biden. And then they said, oh, now we got to impeach him for that. But what happens when Trump's not president anymore? He's not protected by that so-called rule from the DOJ. And that's what little Donnie Jr. is worried about. They're worried that the Biden administration is going to be so irate with them that they're going to come forward and they're going to prosecute. And they have all the evidence. Like, they don't even have to do much. They could straight up be like, cool, go file this in court because we're ready. And Biden could. And to be honest, Biden should. With all of the trash talk that this administration has done against the Obama administration and Joe Biden, all the lies, the smears, the craziness, do it just to shut them the hell up. And I know that sounds petty, but technically these dudes committed crimes. Like, you're well within your authority to tell the DOJ, hey, this file here, can you go prosecute this? Great, thanks, see you later. Just do it, because that's how law and order works. But apparently, and I firmly believe this, there has got to be some kind of like unspoken code, or maybe even it is spoken code between presidents that they're like, hey, I'm not going to look into you. Okay, I'm not going to investigate you because, you didn't investigate the guy before you and the guy before you didn't investigate. Because otherwise, why would Obama just let the Bush people off? Why would Biden want to come in and let Trump off? Why would Trump, if he actually thought that Obama spied on him, not actually actively go after that until right at the election when it was politically convenient? No, there's something bigger at play here, I think. And maybe that's, me being a conspiracy theorist, but I think there's a reason why presidents don't investigate one another, and I think it's stupid. If somebody broke the law, they broke the damn law. Investigate them, prosecute them. It's okay. That's actually why we have these things. But if I were Donnie Jr., I wouldn't worry so much about the Mueller stuff. You're probably okay with that, other than, the whole email thing that you just tweeted out as the reporter said it. I think you need to be more concerned about what's happening up in New York. To me, that's the bigger fish, because that one doesn't even matter if Daddy wins re-election or not. You're going down. They've got a lot of evidence already, and they're about to get a heck of a lot more when they get the rest of your financial records. So maybe focus more on that and not worry about this Mueller prosecution, because Biden's already said he's not going to push it. If it happens, but he's not going to push it. However, up in New York, they're pushing it, and they're pretty close to having their case ready to go to court.